Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Yesterday, we showcased Kid Omega. Hopefully you watched that video. It was a lot of fun playing with him. So I think it makes a lot of sense to now jump into the other blast, sort of Phoenix Force, sort of mind damage, fire damage, elemental damage hero from the new update. Quite similar to Kid Omega, but quite a bit more expensive. This is Rachel Summers. Now, right away, in order to acquire her, there's really only one route that you can take if you want to get her immediately, and that is to plop down the initial 4,500 crystals for the Rachel Summers special training. However, it really doesn't cost 4,500 crystals overall because you will get 1,250 crystals back. Additionally, although, you know, people are having a lot of issues playing Danger Room, you don't have to actually play or win that many times in order to unlock her at Tier 2. So keep in mind, I've only progressed 15% of the actual training missions. You can see there, and I've done it playing, I think, about 10 times. We can check the Danger Room stats here. If I go to Arena Info, I've played 9 times. So 9 matches will get you Rachel Summers, Tier 2. I believe actually 8 matches. The 9th one wasn't necessary. And so 8 matches or more will get you Rachel Summers, probably more if you lose too many times. But I would say right off the bat, if you want to purchase her for crystals and then get her at Tier 2, make sure, play the Danger Room a few times. Make sure you can actually load the Danger Room. Make sure you can actually get through all of the loading screens and stuff like that. You're not crashing too often, because it would be very unfortunate to purchase this for crystals and then find out that for whatever reason your internet connection or where you are in the world or your ping or your VPN doesn't allow you to play the Danger Room consistently, and then it becomes this really frustrating, annoying slog that takes days or weeks to actually unlock. The other good thing about the Rachel Summers special training is that you save all of the other resources. So this is actually good for newer players, because if they don't have Mega Tier 2 tickets, they don't have Mega Rank Up tickets, Mega Mastery tickets, any kind of tickets, it skips all of that. So you can see here, I haven't actually claimed Rachel at Tier 2, but I believe once I claim her, it will automatically boost my Rachel up to Tier 2. So I actually made the mistake of ranking her up, so I wasted some resources. I wasted the XP chips, getting her from level 1 to level 60, and I also wasted the gear up kits and the dimension debris to get, and the gold to get her gears up to 15. I could have left her gears at 1 or 5, whatever it is, and I believe that she'll be automatically boosted up to 20 there, because she has to be for Tier 2. The other good thing long term, at least for the next 60 days for this special training, is that you can save some extra X-Men materials. So you can see here, I'm purposely not collecting those Phoenix Feathers and Emkron Shards and other Phoenix Feathers and other Phoenix Feathers, because I can basically use this as an extra buttress, as an extra sort of excess inventory until I'm ready to collect them. And that's going to be really important later on when we talk about changes that they made to some of the chests. If you've seen this pop up, you know what I'm talking about. But now let me just open up the special training rewards so you guys can see some of what you're expecting, what you can expect to get. They are random ISOs, so you can't control which ISOs you get, but you do get 8 of them. So hopefully you get, I mean, it seems like I'm getting 1 of each, so maybe they aren't random, maybe they're preset. I got 1 of each of the types, including orange. Orange was the one you guys missed. I haven't seen a purple yet, and I haven't seen a red yet. And then this is the 6-star ISO that I got, or 6-star obelisk. It's obviously terrible, but that's okay. I was maybe hoping if they would do something that automatically rolls fire damage as the first stat. That would be very cool if they can influence the obelisks, but apparently they cannot. So let me just collect the rest of these training rewards, the gold and the crystals, so you guys can understand that once you beat those quests, and they're not really quests, they're just like repeatable missions involving playing you know, the Danger Room and doing various quests. These basically just keep resetting. So participation, even if you just participate and lose over and over again, you'll always get a minimum of 25 points. If you use the exclusive skill once, oh, actually you have to use it 10 times now. This is number 3, but you'll get points. So you can grind this up even if you're losing every single match. You'll be able to grind up points eventually and get it. I would say it would take at most like 3 or 4 days, depending on how many times you can play, even if you lose every single match. But let's click this and see what we get as far as a Tier 2 Rachel Summers goes. So it automatically unlocks her at Tier 2. There's a bit of lag there. And so Return of Marvel Girl, sure, why not? Let's see, it should have her already maxed out. Yes, which means yes, I did waste my resources. Whatever. Let's take a look at her stats here. She has ignore defense on the first skill, and she has skill cooldown on the last skill. So she does have some premium gears. She's already overcapped on cooldown by 9%. So, and yes, she does have Power of Angry Hulk, and yes, she does need it. So we're going to change her fourth gear over to ignore defense, and I'll be back in a minute after I roll her some Uru. And now we're back with a partially finished Rachel Summers at tier 2, over 25,000 energy attack, which is about 1,000 more than my Kid Omega with 4-star Uru. I went ahead and gave her 5-star energy attack Uru along with 3 ignore defense, so that she's pretty much capped on ignore defense and cooldown. We're going to leave the crit rate, the dodge, and the crit damage the same, and the attack speed. No obelisk, because we want to see, first of all, how she measures up to someone like Kid Omega, and then we want to see also how she does in other content. So we're going to go into the same one here, except this time around we can't use the self-buffing leadership, so we're going to have to sub out 2 of these characters here. So we are going to go ahead and use from the universals, we're going to use Ebony for the energy attack, which sort of is like the mind damage, but he also gives the 20% bonus, which is similar to Valkyrie, although not as good. And then we're going to go ahead and use, of course, Rachel, because her leadership, mind resist, is quite bad. Now, Rachel is more expensive than Kid Omega, so I do expect her to be better than he is, technically, but cost doesn't always relate to power, because you have characters like Carnage, Ironheart, Hyperion, Kid Kaiju, the list goes on, who are just not very good. But let's see how she does here. We're going to open with the 4 as always to get that mind control right off the bat, and then go into 5. Unfortunately, we can see that this is a pretty large decrease in her damage from her old build when she had a much higher debuff of 25%, where it would increase the damage that he took, increase the damage the boss takes by 25%. Now it's only decreasing the damage that they take, or increasing the damage that they take. Why would you want to decrease the damage they take? Increasing the damage that they take by 10%. So I am quite disappointed with that. I'm not sure why Netmarble did that. The one good thing that she does have over Kid Omega is that she has healing. So the heal does allow you to make mistakes, because you can always just pop that 5th skill and get that heal. You can see it happening there. So even though I'm standing on the bubbles, or the sort of the poison circles, she's still doing quite well. We're not getting any extra fire damage, so that may be part and parcel why she's doing less damage than Kid Omega, because on top of having all 5 of his skills deal elemental damage, whereas only 2 of her skills deal elemental damage, he also had an increase in his elemental damage. So it might actually be more fair to we're gonna try one more time. That the damage does seem a little bit low. We're gonna try again now, but we're gonna swap Shuri for Ghost Panther, because the buffs are actually not the same, but now we're gonna get the fire damage at least, so it's a little bit more similar to Kid Omega, but I'm not that impressed. I think Netmarble needs to go back personally and make Rachel Summers a little bit stronger. I think maybe they need to bump up the damage received increase to 15 or 20%, closer to what it originally was. I think 20% is probably a fair amount here, because having, you know, just a 10% increase and having Kid Omega be stronger than Rachel when you're paying crystals to get Rachel really doesn't make sense. Now, you don't have to pay crystals. You can obviously, or not obviously, but you can get Rachel for free. I should have mentioned that earlier, but it will take quite a bit longer to get Rachel, because we're not yet sure how much or how many bios you'll get as a reward from the end of the season. But once per week, you have the chance of getting, you don't automatically get, but you have a chance of getting Rachel Summers bios from the proficiency chest related to your overall rank in the danger room. But if you have trouble connecting to the danger room, if you have trouble playing a match without getting disconnected, there's probably even less of a chance that you're going to be able to get up to that rank in order to get her bios in the first place. So I think there's a bit of a discrepancy there, or there's a bit of kind of win-win or lose-lose, because for those people that can't get into the danger room much, they're not going to be very inclined to purchase her for crystals, although you immediately get her at tier 1, and you don't have to play that many times to get her to tier 2. But for those of you that don't, or for those of you that have problems logging into the danger room, it's going to be, you know, a huge, you know, almost insurmountable issue until that's fixed, until the logging issue is, you know, kind of rectified. So you can see here, just to clarify another way, the sort of free way to get Rachel Summers, we have 7 wins, 2 defeats. I'm already in the gold bracket. I've got 1,224 points. I get between 100 and 150 or 140 points every time I win a match. So it would probably take like another 4 matches for me to get 4 or 5 matches for me to get up to the next bracket. The next bracket would be platinum once I get to 1,900 points. That is the bar that you are trying to reach if you want to get Rachel Summers bios, because as you can see, she's added in the platinum tier, but she is not in the gold tier. So in addition to getting her, you also have the chance to get characters like Gambit, Weapon Hex, Magic, Colossus, which is great, but that is really what you want. So every single week, because these will be given at the end of the season, and the season, as you can see, it ends in 4 days, 18 hours, right at the top right-hand corner in yellow there. Every week, you're going to have to play, again, probably, depending on how often you win, if you win a lot, you're going to have to play about 15 times. If you lose a lot, you're going to have to play maybe 20, 25 times, maybe 30 times in a week, which would equal, you know, 30 times is like six times per day or 5 times per day type thing. And then you're going to have to grind up to platinum and then open the box. You only get 1, and then hopefully you get Rachel Summers bios. And then if you got her bios, depending on how many bios you get, then we'll be able to calculate how often and how long it'll take you to get her. But it's a, you know, 1 in 17 chance to get her bios, so it's not terribly likely that you're going to land on it multiple times, which means you're going to want to use rank up tickets from there. But then that kind of begs the question, if you're using a mega rank up ticket that already costs 2,500 crystals, why not just save up an extra 750 crystals and just purchase the special training to get all these other extra rewards on top of the fact? So I think for those of you that aren't in a rush to get Rachel, it's a very, very long haul to get her, but it's completely free via the Danger Room. And if you have fun in the Danger Room and if you have no login issues, then it's just kind of like a really long-term goal, kind of like Dr. Doom or someone like that, where you're tier 2ing all of these other characters to just get that one character. She's a long haul goal in terms of the time it's going to take, but she's not very expensive. So it's a kind of an interesting, different type of character that we don't usually see in Marvel Future Fight. Normally, when characters are long-term goals, they're also extremely expensive, like Dr. Doom, like Jean Grey. But she's not expensive. She's just very, very long-term. It would kind of be like playing GBR Galactus once per week, and then it taking 20 weeks to get Silver Surfer, and then he's just a regular cost rank up character like Kid Omega. That would be kind of a similar explanation, a similar translation to what you're looking towards, or what's the possibility for you for Rachel if you don't drop the crystals. However, you know, thinking about it now, looking at her damage, comparing it to Kid Omega just at face value, yeah, I don't know. I got stuck in the enter lobby. That's why I've got the yellow circle there. I'm not sure if Rachel is worth the crystals, so maybe, you know, just hold off, wait for more videos, wait for more content to be created about the character, and we'll end up being able to see if it's worth it, because right now she doesn't really seem worth it, especially next to Kid Omega, who's much, much cheaper and much easier to get. So let me know what you think of the first impressions of Rachel Summers on my account. Is she that much better than Kid Omega or not? I mean, she's going to have the same striker properties as well, with the mind control for 5 seconds. He has the paralysis for 4 seconds, but he's way cheaper. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. And you cannot get her, just to be clear, you cannot get her through X gene selectors, so she doesn't have any of the regular means of selection that that Kid Omega has. You can't get her biometrics in the X gene processor like Kid Omega. Hit me up in the comments down below. Is it a fair comparison between Kid Omega and Rachel, or should I make a different comparison? What kind of obelisk should I give her? My suggestions for you guys is something with fire damage, crit damage, and a proc, because she already gets that 30% crit rate like Kid Omega. Don't need to worry about that there. Hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think of the second Blast Phoenix Hero. These new kids on the block. What are they like? Do you want to get them? Subscribe if you enjoy the content, you want to support me, and of course, if you like what you see, I hope to see you later today. Take care.